Yo, what up? This is Mike Brown,
This is Alpha.
and this is The Art of Letting Go.
Letting go. Letting go. Hey, what's up, man? What's going on, Mike?
Not too much, man. We out here in Venice.
Yes,
They
sir.
got the vibes definitely going over here with this Herbie Hancock playing.
Yeah.
But I wanted to talk about meditation today.
Okay.
Because I had a totally different topic for today, but an experience made me want to talk about meditation because it really shifted my entire day. I know we talk a lot about energy
Yeah.
on this podcast, but that shit is real. You know, when I moved to LA, I think because somebody didn't know how to talk to me about it, explain to me how this shit works, it sounded like some weird shit.
Yeah.
But, you know, I guess this is my way of giving it, or our way of giving it to people that talk and think like us, you know, the message. Because, man, I had a really fucked up morning. Well, my morning started out fucked up, and it's crazy because I posted about how you start your day.
Yeah.
You know, and I woke up this morning and I wanted to have a good day. I told myself I was going to have a good day, and my car started smoking. And I thought I burnt out my engine. It really fucked with me. It had me feeling real down, just because I started thinking about just a bunch of negative shit. Need a new car, how much it was going to cost,
Yeah.
not being able to go to work, not being able to afford it, and all this other shit. And I took a minute to meditate. My dad is in town. Shout out to my dad. He came help me out with it.
It's good,
But
Pop.
before all that, I meditated, and I took time to really just be for a minute. And when
Yeah.
I did, it made me think of it as whatever the fuck is going to happen with this car is going to happen with it.
Right.
I still got to continue on with my day.
Right.
And I got that shit taken care of. I got it paid for. And now we're here.
That's what's up.
And my whole day after that turned completely around. And yeah, man, meditation is important. Like, just knowing how to reset is important.
Yeah. And I was gonna say too, as you were talking about it, like, it's crazy how fast those intrusive thoughts come, like,
Yeah.
of all the negative stuff that's gonna happen next. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's insane how quick it'll come up on you, and it'll really try to take over. Because it'll start as a day, and then it'll turn into the next day, and then the next thing you know, it's a week, and next thing you know, it's a month gone by, and you're just in a badass mood for a long ass time because you haven't self-checked, and you haven't, like you said, regulated yourself. And I noticed that after getting back from New Orleans, I was kind of out of it, and I was trying to figure out what was going on. You know what I'm saying? Like, why do I feel the way that I feel? It was really weird. And this morning, actually, I self-checked. I got up really, really early.
Yeah.
I didn't normally I'm just on a hustle and bustle to go, but since I had the long weekend, I kind of got to sleep in a little bit more. Like, I think I needed it. But I woke up this morning and I just checked in with myself, and I just asked myself, like, what do you want? You know what I'm saying? Like, where are you going with this? Like, what are you trying to do next?
Yeah.
And I was just peaceful with it. Like, I was able to breathe. I went into work and was able to do certain stuff that I hadn't been doing before, that I realized last week I wasn't able to do. So you're absolutely right, man. Like, whatever kind of meditation it is, even if you're asking yourself questions, if you have like a guided meditation type of thing going on, like, it's important for you to do. And to go back to the energy thing, like, we just had a fella come up in here and just talk to us about his life.
Yeah.
And you can just feel the positive vibes coming off of somebody. You know what I'm saying? I definitely thought it was weird as hell too. But when you can self-check and you can put yourself in that mind state of really filling out what's negative and what's not, you start to see the kind of people you want to surround yourself around with too.
And I think it's what you put out there too. I mean, you know, I think when people come with good energy, they feel it on you as well. 'Cause
Absolutely.
it's like, had we been in here on some, you know, just being in a bad mood or just on some negative shit, he may have not even came talk to us.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So
when you just so I know, because you might do something different than what I do, how did you kind of get yourself regulated? Like, how did you come back to, what type of meditation did you do?
I smoked the joint first.
Okay.
And then I sat outside and I just breathed. And while I was breathing, I was kind of focused on my breath, and after a while, I started to focus in on the trees and the birds and just everything that's outside. I think that's why I really enjoy being outside, because it's so many natural elements, you know, especially if you're in a place like where I live. I won't say where I live, but where I live is kind of the suburbs. So, you know, it's a lot of trees, a lot of just a lot of shit, a lot of nature.
Yeah.
And, you know, it was very peaceful to go sit out there and just not really think about nothing but my breath.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And that's really where it starts. Like, to be mindful of just your breathing in itself. Like, people take breath for granted so much.
Yeah.
And it's like it's the source of life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And when you really think about it in that way, you really focus on where your breath is coming from. Like, is it coming from your out of your nose? Is it coming from your sternum? Like, where is your breath coming from? And really controlling it in that way can really set you at a really peaceful thing. You know what I'm saying? And even like paying attention to how your body is feeling in the moment. Like, I know a lot of times when I do some breathing, I pay attention to where in my body I feel certain things.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, do I feel something in my chest? Like, do I feel something in my arm? Why is it feeling like that? Like, is there any type of stress or anything kind of going on in my body? But it all starts with the breath for me. Like, it always starts with the breath for me.
And I think recognizing we have that much control over our breath, we should translate to how much control we have over our lives.
Right.
You know, like we have the choice, and I think I'm becoming more and more aware of that every day, that I have the choice of how my day goes.
Right.
Like, you got 24 hours. It's going to be a couple of things fucked up that happen in 24 hours.
Straight up.
You know, if you did 24 things in a day, at least 2 of them
At least
probably won't feel that great. So I think the real challenge and the thing to conquer is getting over that shit faster.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cause you're always gonna be going through shit.
Right.
And I'm aware of that, and that's why now I try to pull myself out of being so in that moment and just breathing through it.
And you know, the important thing for me that I've realized too is I have to do it when I'm having a good day too.
Absolutely, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I gotta breathe and I gotta practice whatever it is that I'm gonna do when I'm having a bad day, when I'm having a good day. So that's just a part of what I do.
Yeah.
So that I can self-regulate and can just check myself. Because if you don't practice it, if it's not something that you try to do, because you have to try to do it. Like, you can't just it doesn't just happen. You don't just get in a good mood.
I think repetition with everything though. Like, I mean, that's even like, you know, with prayer. Like,
right.
You know, when I pray every day. I don't pray like a lot of people pray just when things are bad.
Yeah.
Or, you know, when they need something. Like, it's like you gotta be consistent with it for it to work. That's anything though. Right. Anything that you do in life.
Straight up. So yeah, man, I definitely, when I woke up this morning, and I prayed this morning too, and it made me realize that I hadn't been doing it as often as before. So I told myself, okay, let's get back on track. Like, let's get back to you and where you going with things and what you got going on and what you want to do next. And so I'm actually glad that we're talking about this, because it's really a reminder for me to follow through on the breath every morning, waking up every morning, even if I'm, you know, working overnight or something crazy, to make sure I'm taking the time out intentionally to just breathe. And I can do it at any time. That's the cool thing about it. Right. Is once you really teach yourself how to do it, you can be in a full-fledged conversation with somebody and just really just self-check, like, all right, like, what's going on with me right now? Like, do I want to have this conversation? Like, am I saying things that I don't want to say, or am I really being myself in this conversation? And it helps me out a lot. Like, it helps me out a lot with who I am and who I want to be going forward. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know, you know, I've written down, like, okay, I am this, knowing that I wasn't that yet. Right. But I am this, I am that. Like, I am, you know what I'm saying? And it helps me with the breath and with the self-check to kind of remember, okay, this is who I said I am, so let me be that. And work toward that, instead of acting out or doing whatever it is that this negative thing or this negative person might be bringing out of me at the time, or if just me just being negative. It ain't got nothing to do with nobody else. Checking in. So I'm glad that we're talking about this, because it's kind of like okay, you was on the right path this morning. You know what I'm saying? So this is cool.
That's what's up.
I want to ask you, I know we didn't get a chance to really talk one-on-one about New Orleans or anything like that, so I just wanted a quick kind of like gauge on where you at. Where were you when you got back from New Orleans? Kind of how'd you feel? And I know you went home too. So,
New Orleans had me on a super high. Like, you know, just the experience in general. I took all that energy back, and it was a lot.
Yeah.
Because I came back very inspired, very motivated. And then maybe after a day or two, it kind of sunk in like, damn, I'm back in L.A.
Yeah.
And I'm back in my real life. And not that it's anything wrong with that, but it just was like the energy here don't always feel like that for me.
Right.
It don't always feel positive. But at the same time, I recognize a lesson that I learned from going to New Orleans was just keep experiencing it. And, you know, it's experiencing the shit how we are and going back to those venues and getting the energy is basically letting you know where you at. So it may feel this way, but this is what it looked like. These people, this experience is your mirror to let you know everything is all right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I had to turn that around because I was like, damn, I'm back here. I'm back, you know, living how I'm living, and I want to be doing better. I want to be. And just like with the meditation, sometimes I have to take a minute to just be like, fuck, like what I think I'm supposed to be doing. Let me just be for a minute. And even with my experiences, let me not be so, you know, hard on my experiences.
Right.
I'm doing a lot. You know what I mean? And even when it don't feel like a lot, it's a lot.
It's a lot.
You know, so I'm taking time to recognize those small victories.
That's good.
So I can really feel the bigger ones, because the little ones are just as big. You know, when you have conversations with people and they tell you how they feel about you and what you're doing, you know, take great appreciation in that, and also take pride in that, especially if it's what you want to align with. Like, so many people told me things that I want to align with that is not something I'm trying to do. I'm doing it.
Right.
You know, and I have to recognize like I'm doing everything that I said I want to do.
Yeah.
So like, you know, that was my biggest takeaway from New Orleans.
That's what's up. I actually came back with the same kind of feeling.
Yeah.
Like I felt like I want to do more. I should be doing more. I need to do this. I need to do that. And while I was in New Orleans, I had mentioned on the individual podcast that I kind of felt a little lonely at first, because besides my family, I was there pretty much me. I was floating like by myself a lot. But then I got a chance to kind of sit back and start to watch and start to see the success around me and start to see the love around me and just how people was moving, and it was just super dope for me. But when I got back here, I kind of was on that same thing. Like, man, I'm back here. I don't feel the same. Like, I just feel peaceful there.
Yeah.
And I definitely felt different here, but same kind of thing, man. Like, I definitely had to take a step back, recalibrate, realize, all right, like you are doing this.
Yeah.
And so I'm happy with it, man. I think that my main focus right now is just really being happy within myself.
Yeah.
And consciously doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like, not letting my emotions or my feelings get the better of me, but consciously being like, all right, I'm having a bad day.
Yeah.
What can I do to either fix it, or I'm just going to have this bad day, and it's just going to be a bad day for me, and that's just what it's going to be. But my energy isn't going to be negative going into it.
And not being consumed by the bad day. Like,
right.
And understanding, nigga, this day moves in real time. So it's like, this moment is bad.
Right.
But in a fucking hour, I could be doing much better if I want to.
Right.
Because I know the things that'll make me feel good.
Yeah.
I know the things that will. And I'm not saying it's that easy every time. I'm not saying it's that easy. But when you're conscious of the shit, because sometimes in the situations you are conscious of the shit, change it. Yeah. And I'm talking to myself as well.
Right.
Like, I'm very much so talking to myself, because there's so many times that, you know, my reaction to fixing the shit is a little delayed, you know, but I'm getting quicker because I'm doing it more. When I'm recognizing it, it's like, okay, this day is not going how I want it to go.
Right.
What can I do to reset? What can I do to make me feel better? Maybe I don't fucking know, so let me meditate. Right. Okay, this meditation made nothing important. Right. Now we got a whole restart on a day.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's about the habit too, man. Like, you can, it can become habitual for you to stay in your rut. Like that could be a habit if you don't decide to change it. Right. You know what I'm saying? And so that goes to say that whatever you do will eventually become a habit. If you decide to stay negative, that'll be your habit. If you decide to come out of it, that will become your habit. Like whatever you do is who you are ultimately, and you can't change anything about it unless you decide to change it. It's all up to you. It's always up to you. And that's what I have to continuously tell myself. Like, it's up to you. It's up to you. Like, however you want this day to go, however you feel. Yeah, you're a little tired. Yeah, you got this going on. Yeah, you got that going on. Yeah, things didn't go the way that you thought they was going to go. But go where it was going and figure it out from there. So I know that ultimately things are up to me to fix. And I know how to get them done. I know how to fix them within myself. And that's the most important part of it to me, is really, like I said, self-checking and making sure I'm good. And then when I can do that for myself, it's easier for me to do that for other people around me. Yeah. Like for the people I care for the people that I haven't, that are reaching out to me, that are going through something. It's easier for me to give them the love that they need because I gave myself the love that I needed first.
That's real.
So, yeah, man, that's all I got, Doc.
Yeah, me too. Where can the people find you?
You can find me on Alpha, ALFPHA _presents on all social media. You can find us on The Art of Letting Go on iTunes. I was about to say Tidal, but that must be coming since I was about to say it.
Right.
SoundCloud, Google Play.
Yeah, Google Play Music.
And YouTube. Where can we find you at, brother?
You can find me at Just Mike Brown on all social media, and you can find me at PrimoMiguel.com for all creative endeavors.
Creative endeavors, I like that. All right, man. Let's go ahead and take us out.
This is Mike Brown.
This is Alpha.
And this is The Art of Letting Go.
Letting go. Letting go. Peace.
Peace.